Hello mates, and welcome to the Baron Reviews with me, the Baron. Today's game is VRZ Torment, a zombie shooter from developers Stormbringer Studios for the Oculus Rift and Vive. VRZ Torment is kind of like Arizona Sunshine's more arcadey little brother. It doesn't quite have the gloss of a bigger studio game, but for having such a small studio, it really does well to carve out its own identity all the same. Even though this is most certainly a zombie game, I wouldn't call it a purist zombie game in the sense that headshots are not needed to kill zombies, and some of the enemies have special abilities, such as the screaming running zombies that explode, a bit like Serious Sam, or the ghost psychic type zombies with powers kind of like the psychic dogs from Stalker. This helps distance its identity from Arizona Sunshine, and that's why I consider it a bit more arcadey. The pace is a bit more frantic too, as it feels like you're relentlessly under assault by waves of zombies coming at you from every angle. It doesn't take a lot of hits to die either, so the zombies pouring on top of you, it's very easy to screw up. The game has a story mode, an arcade wave type survival mode, and then a shooting range. The arcade mode is what you might expect, with the exception that there's a pretty big environment you can move around in. Staying alive is not too difficult at first, until you run out of ammo and then you have to find a new weapon. Then it gets intense. The story mode's promising, though personally I found it very difficult even on easy mode, both in terms of not dying, but also simply figuring out what to do next with limited and no direction. I will say though, through player feedback, the developers have targeted this issue directly, and in recent updates have added an interactable manual and an in-game map with location markers. On that note, the world environment is quite large, but sadly I often found it a bit barren, oftentimes there being large tracts of empty space. Buildings too are often quite sparse, with no clutter or bits or bobs filling the room, so this detracted from the environmental presence a bit for me. Aesthetically, the tone is much darker than other zombie shooters. Everything's kind of bleak and dreary, and the game doesn't shy away from having very dark areas, making it quite creepy at times as you can hear zombies but not actually see them easily. The graphics for the zombies are quite good, detailed and varied. The gun models are also great, and there's a good selection of guns and a handful of melee weapons. The graphics for everything else are pretty much average, such as the ground textures, foliage, so forth. The audio is pretty good, but sometimes the audio spacing can be a bit weird, like a zombie moan can play right in your ear, giving the impression there's someone right on top of you, but then you turn around and see the guy is actually quite distant. Gunfire sounds are good too, but maybe a little hollow. Not bad, not amazing. Animations for the walking zombies are good, but I can't stand the animations for the crawling ones. It feels like the crawling guys scurry along even faster than the walkers, and their animation, although creepy, is very, very jerky looking. One letdown for me was the absence of any real interactable environment physics. Given that it's a motion controller game, I'd love to be able to interact with junk in the world space, maybe incidentally shooting things off counters as I machine gun up a room. I guess this kind of goes hand in hand with my aforementioned point that the world space is feeling a bit empty of clutter. I'd definitely love to see this as being something added further down the line, and I think it would really add to making the world feel more real. Manual reloading for guns was added and improved with recent patches, and that's awesome. It really adds something to have your gun click on empty and the panic that onsets as you fumble to reload your gun while a horde is closing in. As of now, manual reloading is sometimes a bit finicky, but I'm not too concerned because I imagine it will be continuously improved in foreign updates. VR sickness for this game was minimal for me. I have to give huge props to developers here for providing a wide variety of locomotion options. You can walk with the trackpad, click to walk, teleport to walk, and there's even options for using a treadmill. I really wanted to use the teleport option as my locomotion method because it makes me feel least nauseous, but sadly it's actually my least favourite method in this game. The reason is because the teleport isn't instantaneous. You click the button and then you have to hold it and wait the time it actually takes to walk there before you can teleport, which is tedious. I completely understand the design decision for this, so that you can't just zip all over the map and avoid zombies, but it's still boring as hell having to wait. Luckily, I found the trackpad to be perfectly good alternative for me because the base walking speed is quite slow and steady, so it really helps reduce nausea caused by sudden motion, even if you move sideways. I've really noticed that this game is developing rapidly and dramatically with very frequent updates, which is awesome, but also a good reminder that this game is very much an ongoing development right now. Anyone who gets this game right now should be prepared for an early access type experience, knowing the quality of gameplay could change dramatically over time. But the great news on that is the updates have been frequent, with the developers being responsive and really great about interacting with community feedback. So that's it from me, the Baron. If you're interested in this game, it can be found in the link below. And if you like this review, please remember to like and subscribe. So until next time, cheers.